I got a short but strong slate of new metal albums for you this week. Welcome, metalheads. I'm the host of Heavy Metal Philosophy and writer for Metal Digest, John Barbas. Make sure you stick around to the end of the episode for this week's album art of the week. It's the weekend. That means we got new metal albums to listen to, and I'm bringing you my top 5, plus the aforementioned album art of the week and dealer's choice. Let's get started. Coming in at number 5, Altar of Betelgeuse. Did I pronounce that right? I'm not sure. Text is on the screen just in case. And like always, every band's Bandcamp link will be in the description so that these albums are easy to find. This album is called Echoes, and it's death doom out of Finland. I love the fact that this is melodic death doom, but it's also got a lot of energy, very heavy at times with that rumbly death doom vocal, but also it's got this sort of groovy stoner metal influence that's just lurking underneath the surface. It doesn't have that pentatonic scale all the time, same sound. It just has that groove, that energy. I love it. Check it out. Coming in at number 4, Severus with Maze Envy. This is death metal out of California. I got my hands on this one early. Y'all know what that means. My written review's already published in Metal Digest. Links in the description to all my writings. What I wrote about this one is the lead singer of this band's name is Lord Foul, which is very fitting because this is filthy, disgusting death metal. But it's got a few surprises in it. You know, sometimes there's like a triumphant lead, and then another time there's like a clean, haunting arpeggio, and then maybe some post-metal leads with some strings. So yeah, you get this really, grimy, brutal death metal, but then nice little bits of musicality as well. I really dug it. Check it out. Coming in at number 3, Mastiff with Deep Precipice. This is sludge out of the UK. Also, once again, got this one early, reviewed on Metal Digest. This one really stood out to me because the vocals sound like if Slipknot was a hardcore band. But then the guitars are really sludgy, and I even heard a couple of Nine Inch Nails drum beats in there. Super pissed off music, so pissed off that I really wonder, I hope this band is okay. But they gave us a killer album, check it out. Coming in at number 2, triumphantly returning after a 20-year hiatus, to much fanfare I might add, Broquin is back with Harbinger of Woe. This is brutal death metal out of Tennessee. And what I love about this one is it's not your typical death metal that's just really kind of horror movie worship where they just use hyperbole to describe the most unsettling ways to die. These are actual historical events because the guys in the band are history buffs. Jamie's got a history degree, so there's this sort of focus on medieval times and torturers and executioners and events. I got the distinct pleasure to interview the band for this week's podcast, and he told me some stories about that time period that just... In fact, there's one story he told about the crowd rushing the stage and killing the executioner.
The crowd charges the stage and kills the executioner. There's several cases. Yeah, several cases of that. So,
and if that sounds brutal, wait till you hear the music. It is pummeling and unrelenting. A amazing return. I mean, how do you stay this heavy after 20 years? This is how. Hey, before we do number 1, I need to ask you a question. I need your feedback. I need your help. Normally, this is where I beg for likes and subscribes, but this is important, so let's do this here. I need to know how many of you are going to Maryland Death Fest. We just talked about Broquin. They're playing Maryland Death Fest. I've already bought my tickets. I bought them last year, so I can go to Maryland Death Fest. But May is really wrapped up for me. I've got family things I need to travel for. I've got work travel coming up in June. It's just going to be a really tight month for me. But if enough of you all are going, I'd love to meet you, and I will move things around to make it happen. If I got to sacrifice, whatever, it's going to be minor first world problems. But if it's just going to be me, maybe I cancel and make more heavy metal philosophy content instead. Let me know. How many of you all are going to Maryland Death Fest? Thank you. Now let's do number 1. Coming in at number 1, Inner Sanctum with the great old ones, Melodic Death Metal out of Germany. I love this because to me, it's more death metal than it is melodic. And you know, I'm always going to prefer the heavier brutal over the nice and clean. I do enjoy some nice and clean, and that is here amongst all the heavy. There's really great energy here and really great groove and really cool arrangements. I really dug that they took some chances, did some things here and there, defy the verse chorus format and gave us something unique. That's why it's number 1. We're not done yet. Now let's do Dealer's Choice. For this week's Dealer's Choice, I had a super weird one hit my inbox that I thoroughly enjoyed. This is Keegan Church with Nel Nome de Codice. I don't know if I said that right. My Latin is weird, but this album is so cool. Really not metal adjacent. That's why it's in Dealer's Choice. This to me sounds like orthodox Christian music mixed with like a Castlevania soundtrack, and it's all done in a computer. Here I am at their site that says, in the name of the code and of the sacred disc and of the holy system. So really leaning heavy into that computer thing. Everything's sort of free form. They do weird stuff like if you download the video, it becomes like an executable program for your MIDI devices. I don't even understand. But if the music is this good in the Matrix, don't unplug me. My favorite album art this week comes from Cold with Dude Domos Till Dude. Again, pronunciation, text on the screen, but look at this album art. It never ceases to amaze me how we get all these different black metal bands and they all still are managing to come up with unique corpse paint. And this one's really unique. I love this close-up of the face. Immediately, this one stood out to me as I'm looking at a spread of all the different album art. Shout out to K-Man Riffs. This one pops out of the screen. I'm like, ooh, what is that? I want to see that. I want to listen to that. It made me curious. So, y'all know the criteria. This is my album art of the week. This really cool black metal. And in fact, the riffs on this, I really appreciate that it's not all tremolo picking. It's a unique sounding record for black metal. Fitting album art, right? Thank you so much. And we talked about earlier my podcast with Broquin teaching me real life historical facts about medieval torture. If you want to catch that, just click right here. But most importantly, read philosophy, listen to metal. I love you.